وعروة وثقى صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, first of all, I advise myself for taqwa, parhezgari and piety, and then I advise all of you for the same. Almost after Eid al-Fitr, from the first Friday after Eid, we started a theme in our these khutbahs of Friday, and that was a discussion about taqwa and reviewing and discussing the beautiful khutbah of Amir Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam from Nahjul Balagha. I have mentioned it many times, and today I am mentioning for the last time that the purpose of reviewing this khutbah of Amirul Mu'mineen fi Sifatil Muttaqeen was that since the purpose and the main purpose and objective of fasting was لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, we fasted for 1 month to attain the spirit of taqwa. And I believe, as we are told that we should think about each other in a positive manner, we should be people that who have a positive view of each other, and this is one of the major teachings of Islam. Unfortunately, we are not practicing it in our daily life. Many of us, we don't have a very positive view of each other. We look at each other with suspicion. We don't take things from each other on face value. We think that is being too simplistic or too shallow, or kind of meaning a person that who is not intelligent takes everything on the face value and believes in people and has a very positive view of everyone, which are about Sadat. While actually that is the spirit of our religion. If that is something to be the two simple men, then Prophet was the most simple man on this earth. And that's why actually some of those cunning people around him who would look at everybody with suspicious, they would call Prophet Udhun. They had picked a name for Prophet, made a nickname for the Prophet. Why? Because he believes everyone. He is so simple, he is so easy that whatever people tell him, he just believes in. While we are very intelligent people, we don't take things that easy. We know people are lying, people have plans, people when they say something, they have agenda, hidden agenda, and if they are being nice with us, again it is because of this reason and that reason, and if they are standing there, this is but for this reason or that reason, and if they are sitting there, they are sitting there for that reason and that reason. We put so many meanings in things. Prophet says that is not the way of living or way of life of a mu'min. Mu'min, first of all, minds his own business and her own business and doesn't put his or her nose everywhere. And mu'min doesn't, meaning think negatively about other people, or doesn't have a negative view of others. Dhunnul mu'minina khaira. Always think positive. Even if you think or some people point out that somebody is doing something wrong, try to come up with a better kind of ta'wil for it, a better kind of excuse for it. Try to find a more kind of positive meaning for it and say maybe this person is not looking there which we think is looking there, maybe he is looking on something else. Maybe he doesn't know what he is doing. What he is saying, maybe we didn't hear properly, maybe we missed something. Or if he said something, then he is a reasonable man, he must have some reason for it. So if he has done it something, so I know he is not going to do something wrong. Either our information is not correct or we are missing something. So there are always ways. This is a positive person that who thinks positive about each and every one. And I have discussed this issue many times in my majalis, and actually always I mention there is in mutahhirat, there is one agent which is purifier or purifying agent. It's very strange, many people don't know, and that is ghaibat-e-Muslim. It's not ghibat-e-Muslim, it is ghaibat-e-Muslim, meaning disappearing of a believer for some time from your eye view is going to be a purifying agent. For example, if you had seen his hand had become najis just in front of you, just half an hour ago, 1 hour ago, hand became najis, and then what happened? Ghaibatul Muslim. This Muslim disappeared. No, we don't know where he has gone. But when he comes back, if he wants to shake hand with you, you don't have to be that khush muqaddas now. That since you have seen that his hand had become najis, and now he is shaking hand with you, so you take your hand back and you go, no, I'm not going to shake hand with you. Your hand had become najis. But you know his hand is tahir. He didn't wash his hands in front of you, but his hand technically for you, he may have not even gone to washroom and he may have not washed his hand, and for himself, his hand is still maybe najis. But for you, now his hand is tahir because he disappeared. And what I think as a mu'min, for a mu'min, that since he knew his hand has become najis, the first thing this man will do, he will go and purify his hand. So when he has come back, I don't have to ask him, did you wash your hand? Did you purify your hand? I don't have to. His hand is now tahir for me. Do you understand? That is what Deen teaches us. Be positive. Don't, alaykum salam. If you notice something from someone that he or she had done something wrong or bad or sin, now I don't have to keep writing that sin on his account forever in my life. Why? I think positive about a mu'min. I know when he has made a sin, this brother is a good brother, this sister is a good sister, he or she definitely has gone and apologized to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he has sought tawbah, and Allah is tawwab. This person had made something, a sin, but then since he is a believer, he always asks tawbah from Allah, and Allah always forgives people. So I don't have to keep his sins now in my book written forever. That's what we learn when we do Salatul Janaza. Allahumma inna la na'lamu minhu illa khaira. Someone who lived with us all his life, and we know his each black and white, that what he has been doing. Maybe he has even done so much against me, myself, and I have experienced it. And I am saying to Allah, Allahumma inna la na'lamu minhu illa khaira. Why? Because we know that this person, when he got sick, maybe he realized and he made tawbah. Maybe when he has gone through some difficulties and hardships, later on he realized and he made tawbah, and now everything is forgiven. When Allah has forgiven everything and there is nothing on his slate, why should I keep written on my slate, who is nobody in between? So the point is, our religion teaches us that think positive. And don't keep all those things written down on your heart or in your mind forever. So things do happen and then you just forget about that. So the point is, this taqwa, we had learned that we should maintain the spirit of taqwa, and we should, if we have taqwa, then we should preserve it. So we selected this khutbah of Amirul Mu'mineen from Nahjul Balagha, khutbah number 191. Today I am closing my discussion on this khutbah. We have not discussed line by line. We just selected a few lines from here and there. But I am again going to encourage you that everyone has Nahjul Balagha now either sitting in your shelf, the hard copy, or everyone has access to Nahjul Balagha online. It's a book which is now in access. Anybody can open Nahjul Balagha and read it. And in most of the editions, this is sermon number 191. If you come across with an edition where 191 is not the same khutbah, just look 1, 2 khutbahs before or after. You will find a khutbah. Amirul Mu'mineen is describing the qualities of a muttaqi person, a person of taqwa. Now, many times we have this understanding about a person of taqwa that he never commits a mistake and he never commits a sin. Because if anybody ends up committing a sin, the first thing what we do, we remove him from the column of muttaqin. How come a person who does this and he has made this mistake or he has committed this sin and still he is a person of taqwa or he is a muttaqi? That doesn't fit in our system. But Amirul Mu'mineen is here explaining about him. And that Amirul Mu'mineen, who is Imamul Muttaqeen, who has the authority on this, what he is saying, he says, Qalilan zalaluhu. Zalal in Arabic is a plural of zalla. Zalla, za, lam with shadda and ha at the end or ta marbuta, zalla. Zalla is slip, mistake. Something which one is not supposed to say or do. That is called zalla. Laghzish, जिसे हम कहते हैं. The translation of zalla in Urdu is laghzish. That someone left the right path, did something which he or she was not supposed to do, or said something which he or she was not supposed to. Mawla is talking about a person of taqwa, and you so far what you have heard, meaning a man who is above, even above the angels in his status, a man that who has so high position. Even about that person, Mawla is saying, Qalilan zalaluhu. His mistakes, his slips, his sins are qaleel. So it doesn't, Imam is not saying that he never commits a mistake or he never slips. No, he is insan. He is a bashar. He is ghair masoom. So if he ends up making a sin, or if he ends up slipping, or he ends up doing something which is not right for him, it's very possible. He is a human being. But qalilan, these slips, these sins, these mistakes of this individual should be little, seldom, not in a routine, not on a regular basis. He doesn't repeat those slips. He doesn't repeat those mistakes. He doesn't do those things on regular basis. But once a while, any ghair ma'soom individual can do anything. And that is not going to take him off from the list of muttaqeen as long as he makes tawbah, istighfar, and corrects himself. He is again muttaqi. So that point is clear. And I think that 99.9% people in our families and communities, their expectation from a person of taqwa is that he never makes a mistake. He never slips. He never commits a sin. And if he ends up doing that, then we remove him from the list of muttaqin. That is a mistake. And our expectations should be always realistic and under check. And Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, is saying, Qalilan zalaluhu khashi'an qalbuhu. His heart is very humble. He is not a man of harsh heart. He is not arrogant. He is not only that he is showing his humility from outside, but even at his heart, he is humble. Khashi'an qalbuhu, qani'atan nafsuhu. And his nafs is very content. One of the signs of a person of taqwa is that he or she is content. And you know, this content, being content, is one of the biggest blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if one can be. Being content. And being content is not only with the money. It is in everything. You have one spouse, so just be content. You don't have to be always looking always around right and left with those things to keep adding in your, meaning that's stuff. You have position, you have some respect in the community, you have some other things also. So be a content person. And don't overburden yourself. Manzuran akluhu. This is what we need to pay attention to. Amirul Mu'mineen is saying, it's not any dietitian or any doctor or somebody who is distributing the tabarruk. Sometimes people have problem with that, those brothers and sisters who are distributing the tabarruk. They say, why he put only 1 spoon or 2 spoons and he is not making a kind of what you call that mountain in my plate. So what Mawla is saying, Amirul Mu'mineen, manzuran akluhu. His eating is little. A person of taqwa is not a petu person. A person of taqwa is not a great eater. Manzur is with za, not with like reze, raza, manzur. Manzur is little. So when he sits on the dining table and he puts the food on his plate and he eats, you will never see him as a big eater. Manzuran akluhu. Sahlan amruhu. Sahlan amruhu is easy going person. A person of taqwa is not difficult to live with, difficult to work with, difficult to, meaning do business with. A person of taqwa is easy person. He is not a person who makes everything the issue of his nose, everything my terms, my way, whatever I am telling, this is how it has to go. Person of taqwa is very accommodating, very open, very flexible. He has some red boundaries or red lines of halal and haram, but other than that, he is very negotiable person. So, alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Easy to negotiate with, easy to deal with, easy to work with, easy to live with. That is a person of taqwa. Is not a person that who is going to insist always only and only on his terms. There are riwayat. Nature of khutbah Jummah doesn't allow us to get into all those details. Prophet said that if you go someone's home and if you knock the door, first of all, this knock should be very gentle. It shouldn't be breaking his door or pushing too strong the bell. It should be a gentle knock at the door. And then wait. Give him time. Maybe the person has to go and change the shirt or change the pant and to put the shoes and is doing something to leave it and close it and then come and walk all the way to come at the door. It takes some time. Many times when we push the button or when we ring the bell, we think the person was just sitting and waiting for us and should be kun fayakun. It doesn't happen like that. So wait. And then if there is no response, you are allowed to ring the bell or knock the door one more time, second time. But that's it. If there is no response, then you should leave. Go and do something else. Don't keep standing on the door and pushing the bell and knocking the door. That's it. When you ask someone a question and a person didn't answer your question, if you are really a gentle and a kind person, you should not even repeat your question. But sometimes we feel that maybe he didn't hear my question, maybe he didn't understand what I meant. Yeah, once you can repeat your question. But if he doesn't respond or she doesn't respond the second time your question, if you are a gentle person and if you are a person of taqwa, then you shouldn't insist. You shouldn't insist. You didn't say, yeah, you know everything, but you are not answering my question. And I am going to put you on spot. Whether you like or you don't like, but I am asking and I will get my answer. Don't do that. ढीठपना है ये कमीनापन है. This is not gentleness. This is not kindness. A person of high status, a person of akhlaq, a person of merits, a person of that gentleness doesn't do like that, doesn't bother people. He doesn't want to answer, that's fine. She doesn't want to answer, that's fine. Leave him alone. Leave her alone. And then there are adab when you ask the question from an alim. Never insist. Because ulama are trained and told that you are not supposed to answer every question. Allah even didn't answer every question. There are questions in Quran. People were used to come, Jews and Christians and all these people, ask your God and tell us this. And Allah didn't answer. There were questions which Allah answered and there are questions which even Allah didn't answer. It's not your business. Or answer to this question is not in your favor or not in your benefit. You cannot handle this answer. You will be in a worse situation than now if you will find the answer of this question. So Allah didn't answer. The Prophet and Imams also didn't answer every question while they knew the answer of every question. There is a beautiful saying of Amir Mu'mineen where he says, La taqul ma la ta'lam. Don't say what you don't know. Wala taqul kulla ma ta'lam. And don't say everything what you know. That can put you in trouble, that can put other people in trouble. So there is wisdom, my brothers and sisters, there are wisdom behind all these things. Don't say what you don't know and don't say everything. It can divide people. Some people will lose the respect of some other people. Some people will even lose the respect of Allah and Rasul and Quran. Sometimes people are so much at odds and so much angry and so much kind of in a different mood that when they come, they are protesting something and they hate something and they can't understand something. And when they come to you with that and you say, no, this is not something wrong. Even Allah said it. It is even Prophet said it. You know, sometimes what happens is even I don't take it from him. Even if Prophet said I don't want it. This is something I cannot take. So who made to disrespect the Prophet? He or you? So in this situation, you didn't have to bring the Prophet in. This person is not in his senses. The person has become pagal. The person is right now in not his or her senses, and you are bringing the name of Deen and bringing the name of Allah and bringing the name of Rasul and Imam Ali and everything like that. You're bringing the Deen in it, you know, I don't need this kind of Deen. It happens. It happens. I have seen it happening. Many of you will even testify that you have seen these kind of things. So, even as a young student in my life, I had big problem with our Maraje Taqleed, that we send them questions and they don't answer. Or they don't answer in the same detail which we wanted them to. And then, as we grew up and as we have grown in knowledge and spirit and experience and saw more, and this black became white, we learned the wisdom. That why this Marja Taqleed is not answering every question, and why he doesn't answer in the way as we want him to answer. Because every question can't be answered, or it is not in the interest of people to get the answer of that. You need to have again a certain amount of knowledge and background and ability and taqwa and that kind of personality that you can deserve the answer of that question. So if you will read the history, you will see that Prophet didn't answer every question. Imam Ali didn't answer every question, while he was Madinatul Ilm and he was Babu Madinatul Ilm. Recite a salawat. So a person of taqwa is easy going, easy to please, easy to negotiate with, easy to get along. He is not a itchy or a kind of, a person with that attitude that it's very hard to please, very hard to get along with. And a person of taqwa is someone that sahlan amruhu. Every sentence of Amirul Mu'mineen is such that when you look at it, meaning I'm struggling with it, what should I translate and what should I skip? And this is all the wisdom. These are pearls of wisdom. So my brothers and sisters, note it's khutbah number 191 in most of the editions, in Nahjul Balawa, fi Sifatil Muttaqeen. Read it at your own. And then it is not for sending again to everyone right and left by the tabarruk. We don't practice on things, but we are in hurry of forwarding to the whole world. Whatever word we receive, it's a word of wisdom, it is something good. So instead of looking at it, observing it, digesting it, practicing it, mastering it, so the immediate thing is to forward it to 100 people and then forget about it. So the best thing is that take these things and practice those things. And then by our practice, kunu du'atan bighayri alsinatikum. Invite people to us without talking to them, without speaking to them. Yani, we ourselves should become walking, talking of those clips and those writings and those messages, that when people look at us, they learn all those things and they get inspired. That is the better way of sharing the practice, sharing the inspiration, than just those kind of things. The last thing, because it's again, I'm having difficulty to what to take and what to leave. It's again, Mawla can say that, and his only true Shias can do that, follow that. He says, "Fiz zalazil waqur." Zalazil is plural of zalzala. Zalzala is literally in the meaning of earthquake, but Imam doesn't mean earthquake. He means those ups and downs of life, the tragedies of life, the tribulations of life, the difficulties, the hardships, the challenges. Fiz zalazil waqur. Waqur is an excessive form from viqar. Viqar is dignity, graceful. But when it is like Shakir and Shakur, Shakir is the grateful, Shakur extremely grateful, excessively grateful. Same is here, Waqur, in the ups and downs of life, in difficulties and hardships and challenges, a person of taqwa is Waqur. Waqur yani extremely graceful, extremely gentle, and extremely dignified. Because normally what happens when a tragedy befalls upon us, when we are in those kind of difficult challenges and difficult hardships and those problems, what happens? We start acting in a very, emotional way. We lose the grace. We lose the grace and we start crying and weeping and talking and complaining and acting in a way which a mature person, a dignified person, a graceful person doesn't do those kind of things. Tragedy can happen to anyone in our life. Difficulties, hardships, things do happen. But a person of taqwa has capacity to take those things and then act in a graceful manner and doesn't lose himself or doesn't lose herself and doesn't act in a foolish way or in a very superficial way. Waqur, ba waqar. People are feeling sorry for you, but you are saying, it's will of Allah. I'm fine with it. Allah had given it, Allah has taken it back. There might be a reason, there might be some wisdom. I am razi with the qada of Allah. And don't meaning say things or do things or act in a way which is not dignified. Only a person of taqwa, of great iman, can do that. وَفِي الْمَكَارِهِ sabur. Emphasis on the same point. Makarih, makruhat, meaning things which you don't like, unwanted circumstances. But sabur, again, it is not sabir, it is sabur. Sabir is patient, sabur is extremely patient. When those difficult things happen, when unwanted circumstances, and you face and you live and you go through that, this person of taqwa is sabur. He maintains the patience. The days of Muharram are coming, my brothers and sisters, and we are now getting ready for that. If you want to see that how this person of taqwa is waqur in zalazil and how he is sabur in makarih, you have to come in Karbala and see how Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is taking all that. If there was anybody else, he would be broke. He would start complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I was doing all this for you and your religion. I had no personal gain here. And I am here to protect your religion. I am here to protect the religion of your prophets. And this is what is happening to me, and you are seeing and you are watching. I don't think Hazrat Isa had said that, but Christians always quote that Isa, even on the cross, He complained and said, God, where are you? Father, where are you? Why you left me alone? Why are you not helping me? I don't think Hazrat Isa has said that. And definitely Imam Hussain never said that. Even in the last minute when he left alone, and there were hundreds of those arrows stuck in his body, and he was bleeding the whole day. He had been carrying the dead bodies of his sons and his nephews and his brothers. When finally he has fallen, he says, oh my God, I am thankful to you that you gave me this honor, that to serve your religion and to get sacrificed, to raise your word and to raise your religion and to offer my sacrifices. Please accept it. Imam is a man and Imam, but 56 years old woman who is not Imam, and she is 56 and she has seen this bloodbath and her own sons, Aun and Muhammad, and Akbar was also as her son and Qasim was also as her son and Asghar and everybody. Even when Zainab comes and standing among all those cut pieces of those bodies as a woman, old woman, 56 years old, instead of complaining, Allahumma taqabbal minna hadha al-qurban. Oh our Lord, please accept it from us, these sacrifices. That is being bawiqar. That is being dignified. That is maintaining the grace in the difficult times and difficult circumstances, when we are being tried and tested and targeted. And when we are going through all those, we are standing with grace and with dignity and with patience. Recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم غافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وعلى آبائه الكرام ما اتصل الليالي والأيام. أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون.